Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids, where we've got Nub from the past. This is my Grim Forest Day 1 video, including building my whole deck for taking on this first rotation of the Grim Forest. But I did fight the Treasure Goblin, Phrygius the Trovemaster. I'm going to walk you through how I fought him and how it all went in today's video. As you can see from this background here and the health bars of my characters and my reactions as well, this is actually quite a challenging boss. There is a massive amount of damage which comes and smacks you in the face if you're not prepared. And yeah, he's one of the bosses you're going to fight most often, and you could quite easily find yourself getting completely wrecked by him. Now, some good news. Obviously, I've been doing this on day 1, but it's... Actually, do we even have the rewards? No, sorry, I got them all. Hang on. I'll try to find that part of the video where I showed them. Hang on a second. Here we go. Beautiful freeze frame and everything. Perfect. But yes, as you can see, with this boss, a couple of things. Number one, if you look at the rewards, kind of the most important reward to get early on in the month is the experience here, because that is going to be upping your squad level. And every time you up your squad level, you're getting more of these cards, which are going to give you some nice, juicy, permanent stat bonuses and make the entire Grim Forest much easier for that month. And you'll obviously be getting more curios and stuff as you explore, etc. as well. So yeah, again, with the boss, there's a big chunk of Grim Forest experience in there, which is nice for progressing your account. And you might need to beat Phrygius to go down a particular path. But other than that, getting the higher rewards early is not too essential, so don't feel too stressed if you haven't got the high score quite yet. You can literally come back on the final day when you might be a far higher squad level and you'll have an entire 6 curios maybe powered up to level 2 or level 3, and you'll be in a much stronger spot. Then you can come back and you can refight him. And for example, I can even show you, if I refight him right here, right now, I can do it without energy. It's all totally fine. You can just refight him as much as you want. You don't need to use any of your energy to do it. So whenever you have some time, you feel like you've made some progress, you can come back and give him another go to try get a bit of a higher score. So there you go. That's the other thing about this boss, of course, is, let's just jump ahead to the better team that I used. I tried 2 teams today. With this boss again, you can see he has no health remaining. That's an interesting thing about this boss. Much like Demon Lord, or I suppose even more so like Chimera, he will just hang around for the turn counter, his boss turn counter, unless your entire team dies, of course, which is very possible. But you will have effectively 30 turns of his turns maximum to do your damage. Once it hits the 30 turns, the fight just, you can skip ahead and you can see it. Whoop. When he hits turn 30, the fight will just end no matter what, and that's that. So we hit straight turn 30, and there we go. It's ended, and I've picked up the other particular rewards. So that's sort of what we are. That's what we're looking at there. Cool. Okay, let's look at his abilities. We'll talk about it, and actually, I can then show you. I have wait. Oh no, I X'd it off by accident. Oh my god, I'm a freaking idiot. I'll have to get it back up. I have a little cheat sheet to guide us through this boss as well. But let's walk through the in-game thing. You have a rough idea what's going on. Now, number one, the most important thing about this boss, where all this crazy damage is coming from, is the unique buff for him, which is called Gold-Plated. So we could see that in the video, in fact. Let's go back to the start of the fight and see it nice and fresh. Okay, so here we go. We've paused it. The boss has just used Gold-Plated. And by the way, it's kind of interesting from what I found in my testing. He always opens up by giving himself Gold-Plated, but every subsequent time, he actually prioritizes his A2 instead. But that does steal all your turn meters, so it's actually pretty likely that he does an A2, that gets another turn immediately, and then puts up Gold-Plated. That seems to be what actually ends up happening most of the time, which does actually make the fight a little bit harder. I don't know yet if there's some way to cheese this. Maybe there is. But let's just look at the gold plates in general. What are they doing? It is his unique buff. So there's 5 of them. Each layer is equal to 10% of his maximum HP. What I have found as well is that max HP damage dealers are pretty darn good for ripping these gold plates apart, by the way. They're pretty strong. But regular damage dealers do work extremely well too. The key thing is, whenever you destroy a layer, it does damage to him equal to 10% of his max HP, and then does damage to the enemies equal to 5% of the gold-plated layer value. This ends up being a huge amount of damage. It is by far the highest damage boss in this entire Grim Forest for what's coming at you if you start smashing these quickly. On top of that, he gains turn meter whenever a gold-plated layer is destroyed. But, I mean, let's just jump back to the video so you can see that in action. I have a very high damage team in here with the Ninja Mikage. This is actually probably, arguably, like, it's a perfect team for this boss. I got the max score, but you see, we smashed the gold plate. Let's see us smash another one. Oh, so close. There we go. We smash another one, and look at that. We can even rewind it a little second here. But look at my health bars. You're going to see that reflect damage come in. Kaboom! Like, we just got hit for 42,000 on every single one of my champions. I think this is a yellow difficulty hard mode Phrygius, by the way. But yeah, 42,000 damage to my team. I think every time I'm smashing one of those gold plates. It's far more damage than what the boss actually does. There we go. Oh, that time was only 20,000. Maybe we smashed 2. Maybe that's why it was 40,000. Maybe we smashed 2 at the same time because we hit very hard. We got like 20,000 right there. But yeah, you can see if you break these things quickly, your team will break quickly. And that is a really big challenge. In fact, it's really the main challenge of the boss, to be completely honest. The rest of what he does isn't actually all that dangerous. So his A2 does put decrease speed, decrease attack. It does hit a bit harder the more gold plates he has, but honestly, the damage from this really isn't very much compared to the gold plate explosion damage, so I wouldn't worry too much about the damage. These debuffs are kind of nasty. We're going to want some sort of way to deal with them. He's going to steal your turn meter. Very difficult not to have any buffs, to be honest, so you just have to accept he's going to take some turns, which means he might be outrunning your debuffs, so we're going to want some pretty short cooldowns on any crucial debuffs that we're bringing in. His A1 is an AoE attack with a 50-50 to steal a random buff from everyone on your team. Again, this is going to really affect as well what characters we bring in and how we are going to gear them. I mean, for example, block damage, we'll talk about, is extremely good. If we're getting smacked for 40,000 damage on every single person, if we can just block that damage, great. If the boss steals my block damage buff, really not great. We're trying to do damage to him. That's the whole goal. So yeah, it's going to be about finding that. Let me bring up this stuff. I guess we can cover his other passes as well. Then we'll dive into the cheat sheet. But he has a 10% chance to evade, but he only evades when he doesn't have gold plates. Whenever the gold plates are up, he can't evade, so you don't have to worry about it. The bad news is every time he takes a turn with gold plate on, he's going to be gaining speed and gaining a chance to evade. He's going to be taking up to 30 turns. So he could potentially be gaining up to 60% evasion, though it caps at 50. He could gain, in theory, could gain up to 300 speed, but it caps at 200. Basically, it does mean as the fight goes on, if you are smashing the gold plates, he's going to get faster and faster and faster, and he's going to be evading loads. If you're not smashing gold plates, he's definitely going to get faster and faster. Sorry, if you don't smash them at all, it doesn't really matter. He will get faster. If you do break them and you ever fight him without any gold plates on, as the fight goes on, he's going to be evading more. But yeah, he's going to go through his final turns a good bit quicker because he will take some turns at gold plates. He will be gaining some speed. And yeah, he's immune to typical boss stuff. This is important. High awakening levels will, number 1, make you tankier and will make you deal more damage. Enemy max HP is a bit limited, but I've actually found it to be extremely good against this boss. Immune to decreased speed and turn meter reduction. And burns and poisons and stuff like that are limited as well. Okay, folks, well, here is my little cheat sheet. If you want access to any of these cheat sheets, I'm obviously covering this in this video. I will be writing quick guides, not full guides. I'll do full boss guides as well for these bosses, but that might not be until after Christmas. But I will have just quick reference guides like this video up on hellhades.com pretty soon. The goal is to have those up in the next week or two as people are actually getting to these bosses. And that's why I'm covering Phrygius first. I'll do Mimic second. So the two bosses you're likely to fight a few times near the start. In fact, the whole way through, really. But yeah, so that's the plan. Anyway, this is where I'm at with Phrygius right now. I might make some changes to this when I come to actually write the guide, but this is my quick reference for now. How do we deal with him? And we'll look at my example team and why I think it actually worked particularly well and what you could replicate. Healing is going to be important. You've seen why healing is important. You're going to get absolutely clapped. So you're going to want a good way to refill those HP bars. Continuous heal is actually really strong. Now, I've got protected continuous heals, but here's the thing. If the boss steals continuous heal, it really doesn't matter. Yeah? Doesn't matter. So what if he heals up? Doesn't matter. It doesn't take away from our damage score. we can't kill him anyway, so it really doesn't matter if he heals. Like, one thing, some masteries, like you do more damage if your enemies are below 40% health. So yeah, you'll miss out a little bit on that, but it's not a big deal. He can steal continuous heal all day, so you can bring in continuous heal to this fight and feel very, very happy about it. It's going to help you stay alive, and it doesn't matter if he steals some. And then just generally, strong healers. Anyone who's going to give you big chunks of healing to stay alive is going to be really, really good, obviously, for good reasons. Protected buffs, so mostly there's a very few couple of champions who can place protected buffs. Realistically, this means using the protection set from Hydra. That's obviously insanely good too, right? He's stealing buffs off of you. Well, if I can protect the buffs, he can't steal them half as often, and he only has the 50-50 to steal them as well, so there's a good chance they'll be safer. So if you are bringing in champions with buffs, highly recommended to try to get them into protection sets if it's possible, if you have good ones. If you don't, you might need to use a few less buffs. Removing debuffs, really good as well. Like if I don't have block debuffs in my team, that's something that's going to help quite a bit. So you can see my team is getting debuffs. Lady Mikage in this case is kind of nice because with her A2, she can actually reduce the duration. There we go. You see that? She decreases the debuff duration. It's not removing them directly, but by decreasing the debuff duration, it effectively makes them fall off sooner, which is protecting me a good bit from that decreased speed and decreased attack and whatnot. We just saw he stole some buffs, didn't get any. Is that the next thing on my cheat sheet or not? Let me find out. It is not. So I actually need to put this on the cheat sheet. It is important. Block buffs is really important as well. If you are bringing in good buffs that he could steal, that would be very, very bad for you. So, for example, if I'm using block debuffs, block damage, increase speed, increase attack, anything like that, anything that's going to make increase crit rate, very bad one, anything that's going to make him much more dangerous or really difficult to deal with, block damage, classic example. Block buffs is really good to stop the boss from taking your buffs off of you. He can steal them, they'll be gone from you, but he won't get them. So if you do have high priority buffs, so I need to put that in the cheat sheet note to self, block buffs, very good. Decreased defense will help you do more damage. I would be a little bit careful with decreased defense and weaken and ally attacks and all of that. You can very quickly kill yourself unless you use one of these two things, block damage or unkillable. Unkillable, in my opinion, is much better. Why? For the simple reason, well, I mean, there's pros and cons to each. So the con of unkillable is, well, you can see my team, is that your health bars will be empty. You're going to be wrecked, right? You will be taking massive hits. Your health bar is going to be in shambles. And if he hits you again with Unkillable buff gone, or if he removes that Unkillable buff with his A1, your champions are probably just going to die very easily. The positive about Unkillable is if the boss steals Unkillable, you really don't care. He's unkillable anyway. He effectively has the Unkillable buff up at all times. It just doesn't display it. So Unkillable is very, very good, but you need a good uptime on it, or you're going to need to time it carefully and time healing carefully to make up for it as well. So what you might do is put up the Unkillable buff with someone like a Man-Eater, or in this case, I'm using Lady Noelle and Sir Nicholas. Thanks for the Sir Nicholas buff, Plarium. Very cool. Time your Unkillable buff, blow up a bunch of gold plates, and then stop doing damage as much as possible. Heal back up, recover, and be prepared for the next chunk. So use the Unkillable buff to tank the damage and not die from the gold plate explosions, and then heal back up because his active skills aren't too bad. So it's playing around the gold plates. The same concept is there, by the way, for block damage. The block damage is better because, well, it blocks the damage. So that's the advantage there. You won't take any damage. The healing is not going to be important. You could maybe even really not bring much healing at all. Block damage, blow up the gold plates, take no damage from the explosions. Like, kaboom! We're taking a lot of damage. Take no damage, and then just chill, right? Just chill. Don't worry about it too much, and then come back for your, just prepare again. Get your block damage and all your ally attacks and decrease defense. Get all of that ready to go, and that can be a really good strategy and a good plan as well. Yeah, there you are. Some key little tips right there. Again, he stole Unkillable. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. So how does my team work? Oh, I guess we should cover, quick little strategies here. I've put in some example champions who are pretty cool. Like Ugo is a bit of healing, block decreased defense and block buffs. Norog, same thing. provides you damage reduction if you don't have buffs, which is cool. Marius, a great damage dealer. I'll show you my team here in a second. Yeah, fairly straightforward. And the goal here really is to do as much damage as possible for the best rewards, but be prepared for all the team damage if you break plates quickly. And he can steal buffs, so either avoid or protect them, or remove them, or block buffs so he doesn't get them. But the idea with my team, as you can see, it's definitely an explosive one. We've got very, very high damage with Lady Mikage and Ninja. Classic combo. You guys get how it works. But because it's very high damage, we've got massive incoming damage, which is why we've got Sir Nick and Lady Noelle, which is pretty much the best unkillable combo that you can have in the game. Lady Noelle is also bringing block buffs, which is awesome. And she brings a full team revive, so that when we all die, like we just did, she can revive everyone and we can get back up on our feet. Lydia brings us decreased defense and weaken, I should say, for even more damage. We've got increased speed from her and Lady Noelle, and Mikage had a nice advantage of reducing the debuff duration. So that let me smash through. How much damage did I deal against that one? This is definitely my best team. We did 27 million or something, which is loads, and absolutely crushed this one, which is cool. But again, to reiterate, guys, you don't need to get these higher rewards. They are nice, but it's not the end of the world if you don't get them. And you can get them at the end of the month. Again, that's totally fine. The things that you're using these for, by the way, in the vendor, use the round coins to buy curios, which will make your run a bit easier. But, you know, like, you're not getting that many from it. It's not a huge deal. And you're getting some of these square coins, which you can use for buying gear, like actual gear for your account. And the new gear set seems to be really busted. But again, you're not really getting that much. So look, if you don't fully clear him, it's not a huge deal, right? But hopefully you've got some nice tools for doing it here after watching this video. So yeah, if you're going in, if you're dying absolutely horribly, that is why. Another thing I found in my testing, actually, which was interesting, I tried this team before as well. It was way worse, right? Way, way worse. Same thing of Lady Noelle with Sir Nicholas, but we use Sifi and Rotus and Michelangelo. So Leech will not work, right? Damage absorbed by the gold plates won't heal you with Leech, so you need actual direct healing or continuous heal or something like that. Unfortunately, or passive healing, whatever. Yeah, Leech won't help you to stay alive really against this boss, which is a bummer. That would have really helped, but no, it doesn't work. And yeah, also, again, watch out for him. He will outrun his debuffs pretty quick, so you do need to be careful about that one too. There you go. That's a quick guide to Phrygius. Look for unkillable or block damage to tank the big explosions, or slow your damage down a little bit. Bring some healers. Try stay alive. Get through all the stages. I guess another little tip would be, if we can, let's see if I click play. Okay, I'm about to hit. Oh, I brought up the menu at the wrong time. Okay. One other little tip. This is a perfect example. Look, I just hit him for 52,000. It doesn't count towards the damage, right? It will only count towards the damage when you do damage to his actual health bar. You either do that by hitting him when he has no gold plates, pretty difficult, or by breaking a gold plate, which then does that 10% max HP damage. So that's how you're going to get the damage in. So for example, with this particular team, here we go. We break a gold plate. Because we broke the gold plate, we get a chunk of damage, yeah? This team, you see, was only all right, not too special. This secondary team I brought in, not only are we smashing the gold plates, but we're also doing a lot of direct damage to his health bar as well. So it was significantly, significantly better. So yeah, it's about balancing your offense and defense. Come back to it near the end of the month if you need to. But yeah, hopefully it's helpful. Guys, let me know any tips that you have down below. Anything you would look for with Phrygius. Yeah, do let me know. I'm very curious what strategies and tactics you guys have found. But this for me was the top performing team by miles from everything that I have tested, which is unkillable plus healing plus just heck a lot of damage. It's simple enough. So yeah, and protection sets, of course, to protect those the key debuffs, so he doesn't remove the unkillables. I got a 9-piece protection on Sir Nicholas. So there you go. Hopefully it was helpful. That is Phrygius. And yeah, give me any tips you have down below. And I'll see you all next time. I'll do the next boss guide. Hopefully I'll find one tomorrow. It'll be a mimic. And we will cover that as well. Okay, see you then. Bye.